Your 41 NBC AccuWeather forecast, presented by Volume Chevrolet.
Welcome back. Sun starting to set around middle Georgia now. We're in the low to mid 60s with our temperatures. It's going to be another cold night. I'm expecting that a lot of us will once again get below 40 degrees. So nothing to follow right now on the radar. You do see some frost advisories out to the north. Nothing in our region. In fact, there's less than in Georgia today than there was last night. Let's go ahead and recap last night. We got down to 35 degrees. Guys, that's a record. This is actually my first time noticing that. We set a record low temperature last night in Macon at 35 degrees. There you go. 36 was the previous record set back in 1954. 66 for our high today, 13 below the average of 79. So that's 2 nights in a row that I've been more than 3 degrees off of what the low was supposed to be. I overshot it 2 nights ago, thinking we'd go down to 40. We only got to 45. And then last night I didn't go cold enough. So it's always hard when you get that first blast of cold air, which is continuing into tonight. The moon will also still be out there. It may not be as big and pronounced as it was last night, so not a super moon, but still the full hunter's moon, named after the Native American and European hunters that, you know, as the sun sets earlier in the evening, they'd rely on that moonlight to hunt. So 38 for our low tonight. That shouldn't be a record, but it'll probably be somewhat close to it. Northeast wind around 5 miles per hour, and here you go. So I think about half the region or so will still get below 40 degrees, if not even slightly more than half of the region. Still want to keep the heavy coat into tomorrow morning, but as we get into tomorrow afternoon, I do think we'll see some 70s make a return for about half of the region. The rest of us should top off around 68 or 69. Notice the wind out of the northeast. That will be the norm for the time being. Typically around this time of year, the wind is out of the west, so that's one of the things I'm actually going to be watching for as we head into the winter. Do we eventually see that become the typical westerlies, or is it remain out of the northeast like this? And the reason why that's important is while the humidity is going to slowly ramp up over the several coming days, when you have wind from the Gulf, that helps to return that moisture a lot faster and helps to set up the scene for more violent cold fronts. Here's some more good news for you. The tropics not being as active now, 30% odds or less for development with both spots in terms of the next 7 days. Or even the 48-hour period. But in terms of the cold front, as I'm alluding to, we may get one late next week. And if the moisture content doesn't return, you may not even have much of a rain chance with it. Kind of like the one that came through this week, right? We almost got no rain at all when this came through, but man, it sure brought the cold as we got a record low this morning. So you'll need that jacket again to begin your Friday again in the afternoon into those upper 60s, low 70s. Wind will gust to about 15 miles per hour out of the northeast, and it will stay that direction as we roll forward. So Saturday morning, most of us should be low 40s, maybe 1 or 2 spots still in the upper 30s. After that, we'll be putting those behind us until we get another stout cold front to come through. But it is going to be pretty pleasant over the weekend. Again, some of us get to the 70s tomorrow. Those who don't, they'll all get there on Saturday. I'll have your extended forecast in 10 seconds. Your 41 NBC AccuWeather 7-day forecast is brought to you by Volume Chevrolet. It's a lovely weather in the coming days. Again, we'll spend most of the weekend just a little below average as we stay in the mid to upper 70s, near the average for us on Monday, and then back above it in the middle of next week. And even if we get a cold front to come through, dew points in the mid 50s, probably not a lot of moisture. Rain chances would be pretty low.